How does the Fashoda Incident relate to the French colonial empire? If you're curious about how the Fashoda Incident impacted the French colonial empire, let's take a closer look at this significant event in history. The Fashoda Incident was a critical moment in the late 19th century when France and Britain were competing fiercely for control over African territories. France had ambitious plans to create a vast colonial empire that stretched from the west coast of Africa to the east, essentially connecting Dakar in Senegal to Djibouti on the Red Sea. To achieve this, the French sent an expedition led by Captain Jean-Baptiste Marchand in 1896. Marchand's mission was to secure the area around Fashoda, a strategic location on the White Nile in what is now South Sudan. Fashoda was important because it could serve as a base for French gunboats and potentially allow France to exert control over the Nile River, which was a vital waterway. However, the British had their own plans. They aimed to link their colonies from the Cape of Good Hope in South Africa to Cairo in Egypt, creating a continuous British presence across Africa. When Marchand's force arrived at Fashoda in July 1898, they found themselves face-to-face with a British force led by Sir Herbert Kitchener, who was reconquering the Sudan for the British. The standoff at Fashoda was tense but ultimately peaceful. Both sides agreed to wait for instructions from their governments, and it was clear that the French were outgunned and too far from home to mount any significant resistance. The British had a direct telegraph connection to London, keeping Kitchener informed about his government's intentions, which gave them a significant advantage. The French government, under the new Foreign Minister Théophile Delcassé, decided to avoid a war with Britain, especially since they were more concerned about potential conflicts with Germany. Delcassé ordered Marchand to withdraw from Fashoda, which was seen as a public humiliation for France. This incident marked a significant setback for French colonial ambitions. It ended France's hopes of creating a trans-African empire and forced them to consolidate their gains west of the Nile-Congo watershed. The French realized that maintaining good relations with Britain was more important than pursuing remote African territories, especially in the face of growing tensions with Germany. The aftermath of the Fashoda Incident led to the signing of the Anglo-French Convention in March 1899, which defined the boundaries between French and British spheres of influence in Africa. This convention was a precursor to the Entente Cordiale of 1904, a significant alliance between France and Britain that would shape European politics in the years leading up to World War I. In summary, the Fashoda Incident was a turning point for the French colonial empire, highlighting the limits of French expansion in Africa and the importance of diplomatic relations with other European powers. It marked the end of French dreams of a vast African empire and paved the way for a new era of cooperation between France and Britain.